Greetings from the Employment Information Analysis Services Division of the Employment Insurance System. We're pleased to bring you our first ever in-depth video, an analysis of each Malaysian state's labor market. Let's embark on this educational journey together. First, an overview. Despite downside risks from COVID-19, the Malaysian labor market remained resilient in the first 6 months of 2020. While the elevated number of job losses is still a cause for concern, recent figures show significant improvement from the historic highs recorded in 2020. There was also strong demand for labor, as indicated by the growing number of vacancies advertised on My Future Jobs, the national employment portal. As usual, job losses and job opportunities were concentrated in the Klang Valley. Of the 167,537 successful placements made by the employment insurance system, 33,781 were for professionals, the most in-demand occupation category. Moving on to the states, let's take a look at Johor, the wealthy state benefiting from its close proximity to Singapore. You can see that most of the population lives in Johor Bahru, which has over 1.6 million inhabitants. In contrast, Mersing, the least populated district, only has 85,000. Loss of employment, vacancy, and placement numbers are all relatively high as Johor is a densely populated state with a large economy. Next in the alphabetical order is Kedah, the paddy state. The population is mostly concentrated in the coastal areas and districts bordering Penang. Inland districts that border Thailand and PERAK are less densely populated. As with most other states, most vacancies were from the manufacturing sector, one of the biggest employers in Malaysia. From Kedah we move to Kelantan, another northern state bordering Thailand. Kelantan has a small population relative to its size as most areas are covered by rainforest. Part of Taman Negara National Park is located within Kelantan. As seen with Johor and Kedah, nearly half of vacancies require candidates to possess at least an SPM level qualification. From the east coast to the west coast, we come to Melaka, the historical capital of the Melaka Sultanate. As Melaka is a small state, it is only divided into 3 administrative districts. Interestingly, most vacancies in Melaka were from the mining and quarrying and transportation sectors, compared to other states where manufacturing is dominant. Negeri Sembilan surrounds Melaka on 3 sides and possesses borders with 3 other states, Selangor, Johor, and Pahang. Many people live in Ther-Esar Remban district as it offers the most job opportunities. As with other states, young workers aged 15 until 34 were most easily placed in new jobs. Pahang, the largest state by land area in peninsular Malaysia, is one of Negeri Sembilan's neighbors. The state has many sparsely populated rural areas, especially in the districts surrounding Taman Negara. The accommodation and food and beverage sector provides many job opportunities, possibly because Pahang is home to many popular tourism destinations. Pulau Pinang, one of the smallest states, is a popular tourism destination in its own right. Pulau Pinang has a larger population than Pahang despite being much smaller. It boasts a thriving economy with numerous job opportunities. The manufacturing sector is dominant in this state, which hosts multiple free industrial zones. PERAK, Pulau Pinang's southern neighbor, is the second largest state in peninsular Malaysia after Pahang. The population is mostly clustered in the central and southern districts, with Hulu PERAK, the densely forested northern district bordering Thailand, having one of the smallest populations. Most of the vacancies advertised are for low-skill, low-paid elementary occupations. In contrast to PERAK, which is vast, PERLIS is the smallest state by land area in Malaysia. The total number of people who live in PERLIS is just slightly over 250,000. The labor market is relatively small in line with the small population, with the accommodation and food and beverage sector offering the most job opportunities. Being the wealthiest and most populous state, Selangor is at the other end of the scale from PERLIS. A staggering 2.2 million people live in the Perkeso district alone, which is nearly 10 times the entire population of PERLIS. Demand for professionals as high as Selangor is home to many multinational companies that require skilled, educated workers. Terengganu is separated from Selangor by Parhard. Like its east coast neighbor, Kelantan, it enjoys a slower pace of life. Kuala Terengganu has nearly 3 times as many inhabitants as Hulu Terengganu, despite being only a fraction of the size. As with PERAK, most vacancies are for low-skill, low-paid elementary occupations. The construction sector appears dominant, accounting for most placements and the second highest number of vacancies. Located across the South China Sea from Terengganu, Sabah is the second biggest state in Malaysia by land area. As befits its size, Sabah is also the second most populous state in Malaysia after Selangor. As a state with plenty of land and rich natural resources, Sabah boasts a thriving agriculture, forestry, and fishing sector that employs many people. The only Malaysian state bigger than Sabah is Sarawak, its southern neighbor known as the land of the Hornbills. In general, smaller coastal districts are more populous and urbanized than the vast interior districts. While agriculture, forestry, and fishing still plays a dominant role, the accommodation and food and beverage sector is also quite large, boosted by tourists seeking to experience Sarawak natural beauty. Back in peninsular Malaysia, Kuala Lumpur is the Malaysian capital and the heart of its economy. Small and densely populated, Kuala Lumpur is home to nearly 2 million people, including a sizable expat population. The ICT sector is posting strong labor demand in line with Malaysia's ambition to become a leading digital economy. While Labuan is also a federal territory like Kuala Lumpur, it is located across the South China Sea and has a much smaller population. The population of Labuan is less than half that of PERLIS, the smallest state. Labuan economy is reliant on petroleum exports. Hence, the mining and quarrying sector plays an important role. Finally, we arrive at Putrajaya, the administrative capital. Putrajaya has even fewer inhabitants than Labuan. Most of them are civil servants staying near their workplaces. The Malaysian government is the biggest employer in Putrajaya, but vacancies in the public sector are not usually advertised on employment portals. And that's it. We hope you enjoyed this tour around Malaysia with us. We always have exciting new labor market information to share, so please follow us on social media for the newest updates. We'll see you soon. Take care and stay safe.